shorty. But I don't know. I don't think the proportions are quite right, but not bad for a first try.
No, you got to keep going at it.
Oh yeah.
Maybe
anytime I can get out in my shop, I do.
Maybe it's just the jar, Jason.
That could be it too. Maybe I just need a taller jar.
There you go.
Yeah. And they make those mason jars in all kinds of sizes.
Oh yeah.
Did you just call it a squatty?
That's a good thing for keeping the flies out of your beer. That's something similar to what I make for wine glasses. Winos really like what I call a wine topper. And unfortunately, I don't have anything to show off. And it take me a while to dig up any pictures. But it's something similar, but a lot thinner, to where the wine drinker can pick up with the finial on top, lift it at the same time while they're lifting their glass. But that's something similar to what you have, and I can send you some pictures of what I'm talking about later if you're interested. But wine drinkers really like it, especially when you're outdoors and you got those stinking gnats flying around. It's really great if you got a glass and you just tap it right on and it's perfect size, and it's pretty neat. It's something to do with scrap wood.
Yep. Scrap wood. What the hell is that?
Exactly. Non-existent.
Non-existent. Okay.
Well, I did have a buddy of mine that works for a cabinet company drop me by a bunch more pieces of wood the other day. So
right on.
Good.
Like, more stuff to do. I want to try setting up a segmenting jig, because all that I get from him are usually 3/4 by 3-inch or 6-inch fillers. So, it's already 3/4 inch thick. So,
yeah, I've said it before I got started in this shop. Dumpster diving at a cabinet shop nearby. All you get's rip-offs, and I didn't let anything go to waste. So, about 2 minutes away from the crank-up time here. Anybody else got to add something before we kick it in gear?
Hey, I'm Art Bill from Florida. I've got some segmented bowls that I've been doing. I got quite a few here that I've only been turning for 4 months, but I've got quite a selection of different ones that I've done with segmented bowls that are coming out pretty good. I've got some I've done from logs that are got a lot of.
That's pretty.
A lot of color.
Nice texture to it.
And I'm just learning, but every day. So appreciate you guys. Thanks.
No, that's
very nice.
Good.
Very much
Working
appreciated.
every day.
I don't think you ever quit learning.
Oh, if you do, you're in bad shape.
Right.
I was going to say, he might be just learning, but he's a quicker learner than I am.
Well, I've got a lot of calls this week related to this show and program. And guys are still asking the same questions, but now they got a little bit better track on the answers. And one guy said he's out there gouging away on the wood for 2 years and could get nothing right. And then he saw a comparison that we did showing you what happens when you plow and when you slice. And he said he went out that day, he was plowing away and decided to kick that gouge up on the shoulder and rub that bevel. He ain't went back. Ain't went back. And so he's just calling to say, this is so sweet. But he's having a problem with sharpening. And I think it's the way he was doing it. They all talk about how to sharpen with a belt sander. Sharpening is sharpening is sharpening. If you need a jig to do it or a rig to do it, that's one thing. But you have to have a better concept of what you're sharpening and how it's going to be used. Once you got that concept down, it's like a block plane or a chisel or a scraper or anything else. They all have a particular formula, and they all can be used particular way. And he's finally catching on to it. He wanted to thank us for that because it's working for him now. And that's what we're supposed to do. And again, I'll invite you. If you produce a video on your very expensive digital camera, yeah, look at that. Looks just like my Apple
That
phone.
cellular device.
Yeah, yeah. If you can produce a video on this, 5 minutes, you got a tip or a hint or something like that, send it to us at the worldwidewoodturners@gmail.com address, and we'll use it. We'll try to fit it in. We want to show it to folks. You don't have to do all the editing and all the voice over it. Send it to us. We can kind of add on to it, or we can talk to you and see what you need to add on to it. There are no hard rules. Remember, we didn't buy the rule book. That was the deal.
Hey, Eddie.
Hey.
This is Dave Edwards. You just said something about a 5 minutes of video. Every time I try to do a video, it just says I cannot send it. You know.
That may be with your email, your internet provider.
Well, it has something to do with the size of, it says medium, large, and of the picture size or something something to do with too much information at one time or something. I don't know.
Right.
Every time I try to do it, it just says I can't send it.
There's a way around that. Use either Google Cloud or that desk drop-in program. The problem is that many email providers do not allow you to send more than a certain size file. I've run into that.
Yes.
There are other ways to share it.
I use Google Drive. If you've got a Gmail, if you download Google Drive, it's very easy because instantly as you try to send that email, it will tell you that it's too big for Google, but Google Drive will accept it. It will take up to about 5 meg. So your videos won't be a problem if you use Google Drive.
Okay.
And if you download Google Drive, if you're already using a Google Mail, it's very easy.
Yeah, I've had to do that. In fact, Doug has sent me some pieces that he shot in his shop. And Doug wrote, you with us, Doug, yet? I didn't see you sign in. Doug goes in the shop and turns with the camera all the time. And he'll take it, soup the nuts, and put it up on directly to YouTube or directly to Facebook, one or the other. And it must be on Facebook because I'll watch it. And he goes soup the nuts from the good and the bad. And sometimes the ugly sneaks in, but we'll show you everything he's doing. So if you wondered how a tool is used, and there's a scenario, a scheme of things that people ask questions about. And the last week or two, people said, what is my favorite Halloween rig? And I got to keep going back to 25 years ago when the only Halloween rig I could get my hands on was the David Ellsworth straight bar with a carbide cutter sticking out the end of it. Mm-hmm. And the guy said, they don't make that anymore. I just looked at a brand new Thompson hollow, captured bar hollow, and guess what it's got for a tool on the end? Straight rod and a carbide tip sticking out. That's what Doug's got. That's where I saw it. So there are no new secrets. It's all how we interpret it and how we get to use it. Got to start it formally. Go ahead.
Mark Soleil is back.
I am back. I can see you.
Okay, Mark is back.
I can see you.
All right.
Quick question on that Google Drive. You have a Gmail account. That's where you have to use it?
Well, I think you can use it as well as, but I use mine with my Gmail account.
Okay, thank you.
It's a lot easier if you set yourself a Gmail account up because you can just download Drive and the two work together.
Right.
Okay.
Not that I want to push Google, but I find that Google's a lot easier, with connecting with other applications.
Headache proof.
Thanks,
I
thanks
like
for
it.
all the video sizes. Thank you.
Right. And who was that? I just said David from
Michigan.
Hey, David. Thank you, sir. All righty. That's David, right? So we get back to. Yep, we got it up. All right. Let me a couple of business things. We run this program every Wednesday evening. We start at 6:30. We're supposed to stop at about 8:30. Last week it went to 8:53. I don't have a problem with that. I really don't. We're talking wood turning. We're sharing a lot of ideas and tips and hints and all that. So because of all we're putting out there and throwing out in front of folks, I've been asked can we change this or adjust it so they can see it? Well, we're now encapsulating it into 30-minute sections and putting it on our YouTube program, on our YouTube accounts. It's a 7, 8, 20, chapter 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever. We'll put them in 30-minute blocks. So if you see something, you want to go back to it, you can go to this and you can zoom through it. Don't miss the advertisements because they're important. You can zoom right through them and pick out the one you want. And guess what? When you hit the back up button, it backs up. You hit back up, it backs up again. I'm going to wear my back out button on this thing. But we are capturing it and putting it there. We also have the newsletter. We're developing the website. I've had a few hiccups on what I did. And I got, number one, I did about 3 pages and sent it to the wrong guy. And that was on the hard drive that I just got back that they said they all fixed up. It worked, but what was there is gone. But we're still working on that. We've got the Facebook account, and that's where we publish the newsletter. Because I can't put the newsletter out by mail anymore. A gentleman from the United Kingdom was telling us about using Google. I actually overloaded my Google account trying to put those pages on the Google account. And this month I had 2 great articles in the newsletter, both by members, and one was on some decoration or embellishing to a turned piece with all the math, all the configurations, all the gizmos, all the things that, hey, how'd you do that stuff. And then we had another one by I think it was Doug Miller. I didn't write the name down. On the painting, that inlaid paint on the outside. There was paint. Looks like it's marble or epoxy or something. And he gave us a brief description of how to make it happen. You can do the same thing. So there's no secrets here. In a little bit, we'll do a live gallery. Doug joins us. We'll talk about Freedom Events, which he just did a few minutes ago. In a minute, Ronnie's going to give us an update on the AAW Symposium. I'm all packed, Ronnie. I'm ready to go. You ready? Ronnie? I knew he was.
Okay, I was unmuting myself.
Oh, you're unmuting yourself. Okay, we'll put you in the spotlight.
Okay.
All right. Tell us about this thing. I'm all packed. I'm ready to go.
All right. This coming Friday, July 10th, 11th, and 12th, is the AAW Symposium. By now, you should be signed up. And today, they sent out emails to tell you the link and the password for joining in. Remember, the time that they're giving you is Eastern Standard Time. So whatever time zone you're in, you'll have to adjust. So it roughly begins at 11:45 a.m. Eastern Time, and it's going to go till about I think 6:30, 7 o'clock in the evening. That's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. If you look at the lineup, it'll tell you exactly who's going to be on, what time they're going to be on, and what they're going to be doing. So, Eddie, do you have that poll? How many people we have that are signed up?
as soon as you tell me to go.
Yeah, why don't you put that out, and we can roughly let you know how many of us will be attending the AAW symposium.
Yep, that's a good basis. Folks, we're using this not for any marketing, if anybody else is marketing or whatever. We want to get an idea who's going and doing what. And what Ronnie was talking about, it's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and it runs 6-8 hours long, each one. You don't have to watch all of it. If you're registered and got in, I think you get some video rights later, right, Ronnie?
Yeah, they are going to. I think it's going to be 2 weeks after that. You're going to still be able to go back and watch again what someone did.
Yeah, and that's handy because if you like one, it's better than being in a room. You can't tell them to rewind. Here you can tell them to rewind. So if you would, folks, vote on this. I can't see the results, but Ronnie will, and he'll recap them for us.
Okay, right now we have 30 people that said yes and 18 people that said no. So hopefully those numbers will come up, and this is something that you can always learn with, always pick up a bunch of tricks and hints and tips. So take advantage of it and enjoy it.
Is it too late to register?
I believe so.
I think it's past time, but I'm not sure that you wouldn't be able to still register. You can try. I'm sure they'll accept you.
I wouldn't imagine them not wanting to accept your money.
All right, I got to leave that alone. I just saw, did I see, and I can't get it back because the way I'm got to look at this, what was that? Rick Goche just raised his hand?
Looks like it.
I don't see him, though. Rick, you with us? Speak.
Well, I was just going to ask if you could still register it. I didn't know if we still could or not. I've been busy the past couple weeks, haven't had a chance to sign up. I was wondering if we could still do it.
Well, it is AAW, and they are like everybody else. Got to make adjustments. They might be making adjustments.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Yes, sir. Great, and thanks for the photographs for the workshop stuff. Okay.
They said registration closed at midnight.
Registration closes at midnight. What night?
Last night.
On the 7th. But again, it's just a registration thing, and it's all electronic, and it's kind of like real time. There's highly unlikely they're not going to allow you to register being late.
I just tried to register, and it says registration closed, not accepting any new registrations.
Well, no kidding. Wow.
Okay. I'd say y'all come to my house and watch it, but the boss won't let me do that. Ronnie, you want to wrap up this poll?
Yeah, right now we have 30 people that are watching it.
Okay.
18 people said no.
Yeah, I'm fine, Daddy.
Okay. So I'm gonna wrap up the poll, folks. We got a couple of things we're gonna do. So with that, it says share the results. I'm gonna pop in share results, and there we have it. Now I see the results. I had to reset what I do. 56% say yes, 44% say no. This Louisiana would have another 2 or 3% that go either way. But that's great. I really appreciate the input on this. This is where the world of wood turning is going, and meetings. And we I guess we're getting, I can't get rid of that poll screen. Stop sharing. How's that? Okay, now I got it. That's the way it's going. And I got no problem with it. I'm glad we got this to share. We did the AW poll. We had another one. Well, you'll bear with us for 1 minute. because we did this a couple of weeks ago and I couldn't get it out there. To gauge what we do, we have to know what you do. And there's a joke in there someplace. But if you would tell us how much experience you've got, don't count high school. Because, man, that really shows how old we are. But you've gotten back into turning, you're into turning, you're enjoying turning. Why don't you give us an answer to this poll? It's out there right now. Have you been turning less than 1 year, 1 year to 3 years, over 3 years, over 5 years, over 10 years, or forever and a day? If you could answer that out for us and submit your responses, we'll have them. That way we can kind of base where we're going with things. Dane Chandler is with us tonight. He's one of our co-hosts. I see he's out there. Hey, bud. You sent me something today about Rit Dye.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I gotta find it. For some reason I can't get this right. I'm looking at too many things. Say it again, Dane.